Coming up next on CU Sports Mag, the Buffs football team headed to Kansas to take on the Jayhawks. Would Hugh Charles in the running game lead them to a victory?
Or would it be B-Jack in the offense?
Or would it be Ryan Walters and the defense?
We'll have all the highlights coming up.
And then also the volleyball team took on two tough opponents. We'll find out what happened last week in volleyball.
And after that, the basketball team tipped off their season opener against the Basketball Travelers Thursday night. We'll see if they could pull off a win. We'll have all those highlights coming up on CU Sports Mag. Hi, and welcome to CU Sports Mag. We have the latest edition for you here this week.
Sitting alongside Callie Zanandri, I'm Phil Monty. We got a great show, so let's get it started. The men's basketball team tipped off their season on Thursday against the Basketball Travelers. Could the Buffs trample the competition and send them packing? Let's take a look. Richard Roby and the Buffs getting set to start off their season against the Basketball Travelers. This will probably be Roby's last season. Off the tip-off, the Travelers find Benjamin Sermonti in the corner, who drives the lane and hits the floater right here. And hopefully this won't be a sign of things to come. But have no fear, Richard Roby is the leader of this team here with the easy dunk. Again, off of the reverse alley-oop right here. Nice. Fast break points is a key for this team. Helping Roby this year for the Buffs is Xavier Silas with an easy 2 points. He added 16 in all. Roby gets the ball off the behind the back pass and lucky the hoop didn't come down right there. Now the Travelers would not go down with a fight. Dwayne Barkley hits a shot to keep things close. Silas hits the offensive rebound. If the Buffs want to be good this year, they need all the second chance points that they can get. Roby with a sweet 360 and a kiss off the glass, but a huge scare in the second half. Roby suffered from cramps this whole game. So when he's gone, it will have to be a team effort. Here they swing the ball around the arc to find the open three. James Inge hits that. And Silas again off of the hoop, off the alley-oop. He gets a nice dunk right there. Now, the last-ditch effort for the Travelers. Buckley hits another three-pointer. He hit 4 in all in this game. But the Buffs were just too much. Off the missed shot right here, Inge gets the boards hard and puts it back in. When you give up so many second opportunities, it's hard for the Travelers to win this game. Colorado wins it 97-85. Let's see what the guys had to say after the game.
Down the ball a little bit better, which he did.
I think we learned a lot of things about our team. You know, there's a lot of good things that happen. There's the things we need to work on. And I know, Coach, we're going to go and practice and work on all the things we need to work on, especially defense and rebounding.
A lot of work ahead of us, but these guys have shown the capacity to work hard every day, and they're eager to learn, and so I'm sure we'll get better with each game.
So with a little bit more analysis of the game, we brought out our own CU Sports Mag's Aaron Burgess onto the set.
So, Aaron, what do you think of the team so far this season?
Well, I think the Buff fans were a little nervous coming into this season. Obviously, there have been some surprises. Not long ago, Ricardo Patton announced his resignation effective at the end of this year. So I feel that CU fans aren't really sure what to expect from this season. Last year, it seemed like CU's team was playing to preserve Coach Patton's job. And now there's no confusion about the future. I think this year they'll be more focused on the game itself. But I think the game on Thursday was definitely a good start. The team leader, Richard Roby, is back, and he decided against entering the NBA draft last year, and he's hoping to lead the Buffaloes to the NCAA tournament this year. Roby had 22 points, 7 rebounds in that game. But the thing to mention, CU had three freshmen who recorded double digits on the night: Xavier Silas, Jeremy Williams, and Kyle Bay. It's good to see that talent from the freshmen. I think there are high hopes for the future. I know the players really respect Patton. They respect his decision, and I think they're going to try to end strong for Coach.
Thanks, Aaron.
Well,
no problem.
Thank you very much for coming on. Coming up next on CU Sports Mag.
We'll travel around the Big 12 and have all the highlights for you.
But coming up first, we'll find out what happens when the Buff football team took on the Kansas Jayhawks.
All kids have trouble staying within the lines. After the 3rd grade, it could be a sign of a learning disability. With the right help, most kids go on to do well in school. Call now to help your child manage his learning disability. There's no reason to be held back.
What if you had to choose between a flower and an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Could you choose between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Now you can choose all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with.
The Buffs football team headed to Kansas to take on the Jayhawks last week. KU had a 3-5 record coming in, but their 5 losses came from a combined 27 points. One of those losses came 2 weeks ago against Baylor by 1 point. Would CU be able to take advantage of the effects from KU's heartbreaking loss? Let's find out. Coming into this game, the Buffs have won 5 straight against Kansas. Here, Mason Crosby hits a 37-yard field goal to put CU up 3-0 early. Later in the first, Adam Barman, who would be replaced later in this game, is intercepted by Terrence Wheatley on the Buffs' 25-yard line. A few possessions later, Mason Crosby hits another 26-yard field goal. Things are looking good for the Buffs, and surprisingly, Dan Hawkins looks happy. Now, with 41 seconds left in the half, Crosby hits a 32-yard field goal. Colorado led 9-0, but things changed at halftime. New quarterback Todd Reesing completes a 42-yard pass to Jake Sharp, who takes it to the CU 34-yard line. Reesing completes 7 of 11 passes in this game. Same drive, Reesing dumps the ball to John Cornish on the screen, who then completes the drive with a 22-yard touchdown, 9-7 Buffs. Sorry, we seem to be having... Oh, there we go. Now, right before... we seem to be having a little bit of technical difficulties. Sorry, I apologize for that. Now we're going to see what happened. The Buffs actually ended up losing that game. And now we're going to see what Dan Hawkins had to say after the game. As far as effort-wise, he says, I think the effort has been really good. I've never really questioned the effort, and I don't think that's a problem. Now, as far as concerning Bernard Jackson, he says, I quote, I think he probably expected that he would play a little better than that, and he'll have to have a bigger impact. And then when talking about next season, he says, I'm not throwing any senior out there just because I want to get a junior or a sophomore or a freshman getting some reps or playing time. We're just going to have to go as hard and as fast as we can. Now, to get a little bit more analysis of that, we're going to toss it to what we call the breakdown with Danielle Bernstein and Russell Cunningham.
Yeah, take it away, guys.
Hello and welcome to Double Team. I'm Danielle Bernstein, sitting alongside Russell Cunningham. We got a lot of stuff we're going to go over today. We're going to start with CU football game last weekend against Kansas. CU has a 9-0 lead at halftime, and in the second half, Kansas comes in. They replace Adam Barman with Todd Reesing, redshirt freshman quarterback, hasn't taken a snap all season in a game. He lights it up, passes for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. What do you think of this game for CU?
Well, I think the Buffs really didn't take advantage of opportunities when they had them. And they were up 9-0 at halftime. They come out second half, and they just didn't seem that fired up. Kansas made the switch, and I think that really threw them for a loop because they didn't expect a passing play at all whatsoever. And all of a sudden, they're throwing the ball well, and they're making plays, and that really hurt CU a lot. I think they didn't really expect a passing play, and when it came, they weren't ready for it, and it showed a lot because they were getting dominated in the second half. Yeah, another big thing to come out of this game was CU quarterback James Cox broke his thumb, so he's done. So that leaves, obviously, Bernard Jackson still at the number 1 position. Now Patrick Devaney
at number 2. How do you think this is going to play out the rest of the season for Colorado?
Well, you've got to run with Patrick because you don't want to take eligibility away from Cody Hawkins. He's one of the top-ranked quarterbacks coming out of high school, and you really want to use him as much as possible. And the Buffs are 1-8 right now. It would be tough to throw that high of a prospect into the fire now when you really want to be able to use him in the future for a long period of time. So I think that's a good decision. I mean, hopefully B-Jack is tough and he's really not going to get injured, but we'll have to see. I think that it is a good decision, though, because you don't want to waste Hawkins.
All right, that's actually all the time we have. For Russell Cunningham, I'm Danielle Bernstein, and we'll see you again in a little bit.
We apologize for those technical difficulties during the highlights. But back to the news. Place kicker Mason Crosby was named one of the 20 semifinalists for the Lou Groza Award. Crosby was the runner-up for the award in 2005 and was a semifinalist in 2003 and 2004. This season, Crosby has hit 15 of 21 field goals, with 4 of his 6 misses coming from 50 yards or beyond. He is CU's all-time leading scorer and also holds the Big 12 record for the most Player of the Week honors. The 2006 Lou Groza Place Kicker Award will be announced December 7th. Did Baylor Bears go into hibernation against Texas A&M? Could the Wildcats from Manhattan claw through the storm of the Cyclones were brewing? Would the Tigers attack when the Sooners came? Or was Oklahoma able to claim victory? It's week 5 in the Big 12 and the rankings are taking shape. Let's take a look at the highlights. All right, first up, Stephen McGee with this 3-yard pass to his boy Bennett, who is wide open in the end zone. But Baylor answers back with this 79-yard pass from Sean Bell. Hey, get your finger out of the way. Dominique Ziegler, who runs this one in, and the Baylor Bears are on the board. That won't be his only touchdown of the day. A&M's Martellus Bennett rolls out of this one, tackle after tackle, and to set up this touchdown for the Aggies. Bennett's finally taken down to 20. Lane pile drives this one in for the touchdown. The Aggies kick off here, and Baylor's Dominique Ziegler, who had 180 yards this game. The Aggies miss tackle after miss tackle and can't stop Ziegler. He won't stop, but wait. He is finally taken down by the Aggies at the 20. Baylor's quarterback, Sean Bell here, throws a 50-yard bomb to the Bears' main man, Dominique Ziegler, once again. Sean Bell completed 70% of his passes for a total of 260 yards this game. Brandon Whitaker, and with this 3-yard run into the end zone for another 7 points.
Nice hustle.
Baylor tries to stop Bennett, and this interesting jaunt down the field through the end zone, but the Bears are unable to stop him. Bennett had 133 yards this game, and he dives into the end zone like Superman. And Baylor's Paul Mosley doesn't mosey with this one. Instead, he pile drives it into the end zone. Baylor fans' spirits are still high, even despite their loss against the Aggies. Final score, 21-31. Next on, moving in to Manhattan, the Cyclones spin into Manhattan and open up with this Jason Scales 6-yard run, putting Iowa State on the board early. Brett Culbertson for this 39-yard field goal. The Cyclones are up by 10. Kansas State's Josh Freeman with this 9-yard pass to John McCradle. Freeman had a 70% completion rate for the game. The Wildcats quarterback Josh Freeman shows his claws and hands this one off to Leon Patton for this 37-yard run. And in the land of the Purple Men, James Johnson with this 32-yard run, who is at the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. The Cyclones show no destruction in Manhattan. Final score, 31-10. And next up, the Oklahoma Sooners take on the Missouri Tigers. Missouri's Jeff Wolford with this 39-year-old field goal. Touch the sky, Zebra Man. That's good for 3. Oklahoma answers back with this 3-yard run from Paul Thompson. Oklahoma right here blocks Missouri's punt and gets 2 points for the safety. Missouri hands off here to Tony Temple, who, whoop, the ball pops free, and the turnover is recovered by Oklahoma. Oklahoma's Paul Thompson here throws a 15-yard pass to Quinton Chaney. Final score, Oklahoma, Mizzou 10. And let's take a look at the standings. Big 12 North, Missouri's on top, followed by Nebraska on the bottom there. Iowa State, hard to believe that they're behind us. And in the Big 12 South, Texas is leading. They're still unbeaten, and Texas Tech is at the tail, 0-5.
With a loss last weekend to Kansas, the Buffs football team is now 0-5 on the road and is in danger of finishing winless away from Folsom Field. This leads us to this week's trivia question. When was the last time the football team finished the season with no wins on the road? The answer is coming up a little later in the show. Now, after the break, we have some, we're going to recap what happened last week in volleyball.
And we'll also have all the soccer highlights. Stay with us.
Most Americans don't realize that their household energy use produces twice as much pollution as the family car, or that America emits more than 25% of the world's greenhouse gases. But it's easier now than ever before to reduce energy waste at home and make the air a little cleaner. You might even save some money. Call this toll-free number for simple steps to make your home more energy efficient. It's easy when you know how.
Strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back. In front of a season-high crowd at the Coors Event Center, the women's Colorado volleyball team dropped a 3-game match to number 8 Texas last Saturday. Colorado was able to give Texas a good fight, however, but they lost in 3 straight games, 21-30, 30-32, and 22-30. Amber Sutherland led CU with 16 kills, and Mallory Gibson tailed 10 kills. Colorado led for most of the second game, but couldn't close it out, losing 30-32. CU then lost its focus and struggled throughout the third game, seeing their top strikers not able to make their kills. With the loss, CU has now fallen to 12-8 overall and 8-5 in the Big 12. The Buffs are now tied for 4th in the Big 12 standings with number 16, Missouri.
It was a killer night for the women's volleyball team, taking Kansas State to 5 games. Kansas State drew first blood, taking the first game 27-30. The Buffs would respond, winning the next 2 games, but could not clinch the 4th, leaving a decision to a big Game 5. It was yet another battle in the 5th, but the Buffs were able to pull off a 15-12 victory to take the game and match, moving them to 13-8 overall and 9-5 in the Big 12. Lauren Schaefer posted a team-best 19 kills, and Mallory Gibson tied her career high with 18 kills. Amber Sutherland added another 18 and helped lead the Buffs to 90 kills for the first time since the 2000 season. The team will be back in action November 4th against the Missouri Tigers in Columbia.
In Colorado's volleyball, Therese Vignal was named to the Big 12 Good Workers team for the fall season. The Big 12 Good Workers team recognizes student athletes for their commitment to community service. Vignal, a junior defensive specialist for the Buffs, is a communications director for the Student Athletes Advisory Committee. The committee coordinates community service projects such as Read with the Buffs, where student athletes read to local elementary school students. That sounds like fun. There's Big 12 Good Works teams will be announced every year in the fall, winter, and spring. CU Sports Mags offers a congratulations to Vignal for her achievements.
The women's soccer team rounded out the season with a game against Kansas last Friday. Freshman Nikki Marshall scored 2 goals, while senior Allie True and sophomore Alex Cousins each added a goal to give the Buffs a 4-0 win. Marshall's 2 tallies bring her season total to 14 goals, breaking the school record and making her the Big 12's leading scorer. The game marks Colorado's 4th consecutive shutout and the 8th this season.
The number 23 women's soccer team battled the University of Kansas for the 2nd straight game and came out winners with penalty kicks here in the first round of the Big 12 tournament. After 2 10-minute overtime periods, the teams would decide the outcome on penalty kicks. CU's Alex Cousins went first, making hers, and she was followed by KU's Emily Stryden. Stryden hit a soft shot to her right, and CU's Redlinski read the shot correctly and dove in front of it and saved it. CU will now prepare to take on the number 1 seed and 11th ranked Texas A&M Aggies. The Aggies beat Colorado 3-0 in the first meeting this season.
Wow, that sounded like a crazy game.
Yeah, it definitely was. Came down to the last straw.
Yeah. Well, now we're going to have to go ahead and throw it back to Danielle and Russell for more about volleyball and the soccer team.
Yeah, take it away, you guys.
Welcome back. For Danielle, I'm Russell, and we're going to talk about ladies volleyball and soccer.
Switching gears a little bit, looking at the volleyball team, 4th in the Big 12 right now, which is still pretty good considering that there are some very powerful teams in the Big 12. Nebraska, which is 1st in the country, and Texas sitting at 8th in the nation. So they've got some really tough competition within their own conference. There's 6 games left. They'll get a chance to take on Nebraska again and Oklahoma, who's 17th in the country. So those teams really give them a tough schedule. They have a few players that have really been strong for them this year. Ashley Nu'u, she's a senior. Really, the offense just runs through her. She's approaching 3,000 assists on her career, which are amazing numbers, and she does a great job with them.
Definitely. I think Ashley is having such a great season, and the Buffs are doing so well because they have 2 big-time killers. One is Amber Sutherland. She is playing great right now. She's got 327 kills on the season, and that's really good. And she would have more, but you have Mallory Gibson on the other side with 215 kills. Amber Sutherland's a great player, but the addition of Mallory Gibson on the squad and how well Mallory is playing, it's really making them tough to beat because that's 500 kills in between the both of them, and that's really good.
Yeah, and Amber Sutherland last year kind of took that role where when Allie Griffin was kind of shut down, she would step up, and now the role's kind of reversed where she's that major player who's making all these big plays for them, and Mallory Gibson really complements her. So
definitely. And now we're going to switch over to soccer, and the girls' soccer team are in the Big 12 tournament right now.
They're taking on Texas A&M today, actually, and by today I mean Friday. And Texas A&M ranked number 11, CU ranked 23rd, so it should be a pretty good matchup. The Buffs lost to Texas A&M last year in the Big 12 finals, and 2 years ago the Aggies beat them in the semifinals, so definitely some bad blood, I think. CU really wants to kind of avenge those losses and win the Big 12. They've had some really key players for them today. One of them, surprisingly, I think, Nikki Marshall, freshman, 14 goals. She leads the Big 12, obviously leads the team, and she's put up some amazing numbers for this team.
Definitely. Also, Kirsten Radgowski is playing great. She's had 4 straight shutout games, and when you have confidence in your goalie, it really allows for the offense to play great offense and move the ball and not be too worried about getting stranded up on the offensive end because the defense and the goalie is playing so well.
Yeah, and I really think that that's been some of their strong backing is that they have confidence in their goalie and they can really rely on her, and that allows them to be more creative and allows them to do some things they wouldn't normally try, but since they have that confidence, they're able to do that. So we're going to go ahead and wish them luck against Texas A&M, but we're out of time, so we are going to send it on back to the desk.
Thanks so much, you guys. Coming up after this break, we'll look at a sports mag tradition.
It's probably not what you're thinking, though. We'll have that story next.
Look, there's a moose. Where? Over there. Oh, yeah. Look, over there. I see a fish. A fish with 2 stripes.
Spend time with kids anytime, and it helps prevent crime. It's that easy.
You know, we sing for millions of girls. But helping out in schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply, 'cause you're the X and I'm the Y.
I'm the cute one, you know what I'm saying? So, have you ever been backstage before?
Okay, guys, this is an abacus, an old school calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like the circle and the square, our geometry is a perfect pair.
Now, why should kids know about gravity?
Well, gravity holds them down.
I once was one, but now we're 2.
I'm spinning out of control.
Wanna swear my love to you.
Oh. Junior Brett Vaughn led the CU cross-country team to its 11th straight Big 12 title on Friday. Vaughn finished 3rd overall and first for his Colorado, helping CU defeat runner-up Texas by 44 points. Meanwhile, Jenny Behringer helped the women's team to its 8th consecutive Big 12 title, finishing 2nd for the 2nd straight season. Both cross-country teams are Big 12 champions, and Vaughn and Behringer are CU Sports Mag's Athlete of the Week.
Yeah, it's always exciting to be honored by the school and recognized for different accomplishments.
I guess it's pretty cool. I mean, I got some teammates who probably deserve it more than I did.
I'm always in the competition. I'm always considering my race plan and the different things that my coach and I talk about before the race. But I'm also always evaluating how I feel and how I feel in the race and what position I am relative to where I want to be.
The Big 12 is a lot deeper than it's been in the past, so it was really nice to we really didn't expect to win by much, and we pretty much dominated, so it was pretty exciting.
Coach Wetmore is the reason I came here in the first place, and is a big part of all of our lives because he's here every day coaching us and dedicating his time.
Usually if you're having a good race, it doesn't seem that long. It seems, it's over before it starts, and I guess it just focused in on the race, focused on your breathing, focused on not falling down.
Hi, I'm Jenny Behringer.
Hi, I'm Brent Vaughn.
CU Sports Mag's
Athlete of the Week.
Hope you've been reviewing your Buffs history because here again is today's trivia question. The Buffs are 0-5 on the road this season, and a loss in Nebraska on December 2nd will guarantee a winless season away from Boulder. When was the last time the football team finished the season with no wins on the road? The answer is a whopping 22 years ago. In 1984, the Buffs finished with an 0-5 road record. That's pretty horrible. Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Well, this past Monday and Tuesday, the women's golf team participated in their final tournament of the season at the College of Charleston Intercollegiate. The lady golfers started out slow with a first-round score of 311, but rebounded nicely in the final round with a score of 302 and a tie for 13th place finish. Freshman Dominique Pitaluski finished with the best combined score for the Buffs, shooting a 12 over par 228, which gave her 32nd place overall. The women's golf team will now take a 3-month break before coming back February 16th to play at the Fresno State Invitational.
Every year, members of CU Sports Mag find themselves away from the studio looking for a way to cool off. Caitlin McPherson explains what happens when you combine an ice rink, pads, and brooms with your Sports Mag crew.
Every year, the CU Sports Mag crew grabs their brooms, helmets, and tennis shoes and heads out to the ice for broomball intramurals. With one win under their belt, the CU Sports Mag team is already off to their best start yet.
It was way better than the week before. We did a couple changes. We changed it from a 2-2, 2 offense, 2 defense to a 3 offense, 1 defense. And Stacy, our defender, did an excellent job at keeping them out of our goal. Nate did an excellent job as keeper, keeping the ball away from there. And it was just a solid game.
My first time playing was really fun. I have no skill whatsoever, but it was fun learning. Hopefully we'll get better as the weeks go on.
One thing we definitely need to work on is we did have 3 goals tonight, I think, but the big thing is we had probably 10 or 12 scoring opportunities, and we need to capitalize on more of those opportunities.
For CU Sports Mag, I'm Caitlin McPherson.
All right, well, we got a lot of different sports coming up this weekend for Colorado. On Friday, the women's soccer team is in the Big 12 tournament in San Antonio. And the women's basketball team is taking on University of Colorado Springs Friday night at 7 p.m.
And tomorrow you can catch the Buffs in action against Kansas State at 1:30 p.m. at Folsom Field. And volleyball takes on Missouri at 5:30. Women's basketball plays again against the School of Mines at 2 p.m.
And then wrapping up the weekend on Sunday, hopefully the women's soccer team will still be playing in the Big 12. However, the Big 12 has a lot of tough competition, lots of really top-ranked teams there. However, CU did win its first game on Wednesday.
They did.
Now, the biggest game is coming up tomorrow, though, the Buffs football team. But that looks like that's all the time we have.
For Philip Milani, I'm Callie Zanandri. Thanks for watching.